Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today, you might notice that I do not actually have any cubes on me because today we're not reviewing a cube, we're reviewing a book. So this book is written by a psychologist called Nora Santo. She's the mother of a speedcuber. She wrote this book for younger people, I think around middle school aged kids. This book explores some very important subjects like confidence, self-awareness, diversity, inclusion, leadership, and emotional intelligence. So these are all really good things for younger people to understand. And yeah, it has some cubing in it, so that's why I'm here, right? So the interesting thing about this book is that it actually involves some real life people. One of the people I actually know. How it works is each chapter, the characters in the book try to go on this quest and some adventure, and a real life person who's successful in the world at whatever they're doing appears as a character and gives their advice on how they view success and how they play their role in whatever they do. In the cubing chapter, we have Feliks Zemdegs, cubing legend. He actually appears as a character. This book is called the Celestina Code. It's kind of like sci-fi. It's very mysterious. Celestina is a character in the book. She's an eccentric billionaire. So quick plot synopsis. There is this school that is really well known for being nurturing and caring for its students. The person who owns the land where their school is on has passed away, and the land is being passed on to her daughter, and her daughter has an intention to sell it at an auction. And so the school was like, oh my goodness, we're in trouble. So how do we stop this from happening? How do we retain the school? And how do we retain these values that we stand for? They discover that there is some eccentric billionaire called Celestina Code that runs this contest. It essentially invites various schools to compete, and the winner gets £1 million, which is like 1.3 million USD. It's a lot of money. With that money, the students can then use it to save their situation and continue to be a good school for good kids. So these are the good guys, and then the bad guys are this like evil school. Honestly, these sound like they're like Slytherins or something. They're like, oh yeah, like results matter. We don't care about your emotional health. We're just in it for the grades and the results. So we're gonna win this. We're just gonna do it to show that we're better than you. You know, and those are the bad guys, and they're like classic bad guys. One thing that really got me thinking was, so like you obviously you have good guys and bad guys, right? My thought when I was reading this stuff was like, what if there was no bad guy? You know, how would the story change? Like, for example, you have the Orchard, which are the good guys, and they want to save their way of life, but maybe their opponents also have some legitimate, genuine reason to raise the money for their own purposes, right? How does the reader then choose what side to be on, and is that a good reflection on how the world works? You know, sometimes your competitors have genuine motives. It's not like my life story is like, oh my god, Speedcube Shop is evil. You know, they're the opponents and they're out to commit crimes and do misdeeds. No, they're a legitimate business. Their wanting of business is the same as our wanting of business, and from their perspective, it's the same thing. Like, my life story is not so simple that there's a bad guy out there that's categorically bad, and people get to cheer for me. So maybe this would have been different if, there wasn't like an obvious bad guy. So this cannot be a book review about a cubing book without talking about the cubing. So the cubing happens in chapter 10. Essentially, the kids have to go and like find this venue, and then they go and they see Feliks. They talk to Feliks. Feliks imparts his wisdom, and then they take part in some like cubing contest. The discussion of cubing is actually like pretty genuine. Like, there isn't something that's like, you know, when you fact check something and you're an expert, everything seems wrong. You know, this is actually a pretty realistic description of cubing. I'll read to you the what Feliks wrote in that book, because I think it's pretty interesting. To be fulfilled, first you need to figure out what you are most passionate about. Once you know it, the most important thing for you to remember is that you need practice. If you put the effort into mastering something you love, you will be rewarded. Of course, that doesn't guarantee you'll be number one in what you do, like being the best football player in your country, because there are never any guarantees. It's just about tilting the odds in your favor. If you want to be good at something or achieve something specific, or even just get a better skill, you must make the effort. I believe that is the only way, and there are no shortcuts. That's pretty cool from Feliks. You know, you put in the work, it doesn't guarantee that you'll be number one at what you do unless you're Feliks. You know? So this book so far is pretty interesting. I'm not finished reading it. I'm like about a third of the way in, but I did get up to the cubing chapter, so I was like kind of up to date enough to talk to you guys about it. It was really interesting to read. It's always interesting to see what cubing looks like in a work of literature. So there are a variety of ways to get this book. Currently, it's being crowdfunded on Kickstarter, and maybe later it'll be available in stores and whatnot. But yeah, if you'd like to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. There are, again, a variety of ways to get it. You can get it with a bunch of perks, or you can just read an ebook. It's pretty simple. All right, well, that's about it for this book review. I haven't read all of it, as I said, so I can't actually spoil it, but hopefully I gave you enough information so that if you're interested, you can check it out. I don't expect everybody to be interested in reading for pleasure, but in case you are, it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, go check it out.